Namaste and welcome to my channel. This is DocHollyHealth, your yoga solution to pain relief. My name's Holly. I'll be your physical therapist today online. Today we're going to work on a yoga flow to relieve sciatic pain. So the sciatic nerve exits out your lumbar spine, travels all the way down the back of your leg to your foot. So you can have symptoms anywhere from your lumbar spine, your low back, all the way down to your foot. Anywhere from burning, numbness, tingling, pain, weakness. So all the exercises today are going to be towards relieving some of that pain and pinching of that nerve in the low back or anywhere along its path. Most of all, I want you to listen to your body because we're all a little bit different, and I never want you to do something that causes more pain. So ease into it, stop the video when you need to stop it. Let's start on our backs with your knees bent, and kind of help to roll to the side and then lie on your back, get comfortable. Having your knees bent is just gonna help put the low back in a little more neutral spine. Tuck your shoulders away from your ears, palms up. Gently close your eyes. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths to begin. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open your mouth, sigh it out. Inhale, draw the breath all the way up. Open your mouth, sigh it out. One more breath, rooting us to the present moment. Inhale. Full exhale. Now, keeping your lips sealed, breathe in and out through the nose for the remainder of our time together with a comfortable breath pattern for you. Your breath is a great guide of when to push and when to soften a little bit. The first thing I want to do is find a neutral spine. So to do that, first tuck your hips under, rolling your hips up, rib points towards the hip points. And then we're going to roll the pelvis the other way, arching the low back. Hip points away from the rib points. And then we want to find halfway between the two. You can place your thumbs on your ribs and your fingertips on your hip points, and they want to feel relatively stacked. This is going to put your core in its optimal length with that neutral spine. And it's a great place to find your core. So simply to find your core, it's going to be the entire abdominal canister from your pelvic floor all the way up into your ribs. Often we forget about the deepest core muscle, your transversus abdominis, and that's the one that acts like a belt around your spine and can relieve some of that pressure in the lumbar spine. So it's gonna sound funny. What I want you to do is do a KEGEL. Pretend like you're stopping your flow of urine. I know, kind of crazy, but this is the bottom of your core, is your pelvic floor. And then from there, I want you to like ice cream, scoop your core up and in. So your belly button's gonna come down to your spine, up towards your heart center, zipping it up. And then if you place your fingertips right inside your hip bones, you're gonna feel that makes it become firm. Not pushing out, not squishy, firm. You might really need to dig in there to get to the deepest layer, that's okay. And then as you inhale, release that. We're just gonna do several breaths of activating this muscle. Yes, this is the work right now. It seems simple, but it has to be done. Inhale through the nose. As you exhale, you're going to do the KEGEL, lower belly lift, core activated. Just gets a little firm. Inhale, release. Exhale, build the core. Inhale, release. Exhale, build the core. Good. Let's do 3 more. Inhale. Activate it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, scoop. Inhale. Sometimes this takes practice. If you don't get it today, keep trying. Exhale. Repeat, repeat, repeat. If you're ready for more, walk your feet out a little bit, keeping the neutral spine. Start with your heels into the mat and your toes pulled up. We're just going to add a dynamic movement to challenge the core a little bit. This time, I want you to maintain the core activation the entire way, so you can just check to make sure you're keeping that firmness. As you do that, you're going to pick up one leg, knee towards your chest, but not all the way. And then exhale, reach it back out. Switch sides. Inhale, pick that leg up. Exhale, drop it away. So see how my leg is moving like an arc? It's keeping the same knee angle, and I'm just drawing it up thigh to chest by using my core compression, and exhale, drawing it out. Instead of just picking up the leg and setting it down willy-nilly, it's going to be one leg unit drawn up from the core, and then one leg unit arcs back out. Reach in, reach out. Try not to just set the foot down, you know? It's coming off from this thigh core ratio. Inhale. Exhale. Again, it might not come easily. It seems like it would, but this is not an easy exercise for someone who's never activated their transversus abdominis correctly, because we get taught core wrong, honestly. We get taught to push out, to bear out, to use just the six-pack muscle, and that only puts more pressure down on the pelvic floor, and it's not going to wrap and protect the low back like that core corset that we need, that's going to wrap all the way around to the back with those fibers that do connect to the lumbar spine. One more each. Give yourself grace for the process. Good. Now shake your legs out, shake it out. And we're going to do nerve glides now. We'll start with both knees bent. Grab the back of your left leg. If this is too far, you can use a towel or a strap to hold. So we talked about the nerve originating from the low back, going out the toe. So imagine that nerve like a piece of floss. You're going to straighten the leg, tensioning the floss, and then when you get to the top, pull the toes back, tensioning the floss even more. Then point the toes, bend the knee. If you're pretty lit up, don't even worry about pulling the toes back. Just keep the toes pointed the entire time. If you can, and it feels okay, you can pull the toes back. It just depends on how much you are able to move through that nerve range of motion right now. Another thing to think of is you want to keep your hips pretty even while you're doing this. So continue thinking of plugging that left thigh away from you to create space to move the nerve properly. And then just find that yoga breath that we talked about in the beginning. Relax tension in the face, in the jaw, in the head, in the neck. Just bring your awareness to this leg right now, to your breath, and what's going on for you. A lot of these things aren't just a one-time fix. So don't do this video and be like, how come everything's not fixed right now? It's doing this again and again and again until it's great for you and you're ready for the next progression of exercises. Let's do the other leg. Maybe windshield wiper the knees in between, shake them out left to right, and now we do the right. So again, find neutral spine, make sure the hips are even, grab behind the right leg, make sure you're plugging that right hip down, and then we start to tension the nerve by straightening the right leg, pulling the toes back, pointing the toes, bending the knee. If your shoulders are all reaching up just to try to get you to hold the leg, I do want you to use assistance from a towel, strap, or belt. Be where you are today. You're exactly where you should be. Your body does have innate healing capabilities, just needs a little guidance and a little time to get back to where it should be. Sciatica isn't a sentence forever. It doesn't have to be. Our body can do something about it. I see it all the time. It also starts with your attitude, your mindset towards it, how you're feeling about it. And I want you to feel all the feelings, notice them, and notice what stories you're creating that just aren't true. Oh, I'm gonna have pain forever. You know, writing those ultimatums for yourself. Speak to yourself like you would a friend. Let's do one more. Good, windshield wiper the knees, right to left, right to left. You might notice one side is easier than the other, one side's more tight, depending on what's going on for your body right now, right? Good, now roll all the way onto one side. Keeping the knees bent, use the top arm in front of your chest to push you up using a little core. Swivel around until you're in tabletop. Tabletop is a good way to feel your core as well. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You can do the same pelvic tilts we did before in find that neutral spine. Tilt your pelvis back and then tuck your hips fully under, and then find neutral spine halfway between the two, where your ribs and your hips are stacked one over the other. Then find that lower core activation, zipping up your lower belly and drawing the neck away from you, elongating your neck. That's neutral spine. This is a good place just to practice your breaths, just holding this, finding this body awareness. So let's take 3 breaths here, and then I promise we'll progress it. Inhale, inflating the lumbar spine. Exhale. Inhale from your low back all the way to the crown of your head. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If you want to progress it, let's do it. If not, continue that breath. We'll curl our toes into the mat. Elicit your core contraction. And then hover the knees. Push your fingertips into the mat, hover your knees 1 inch above your yoga mat or your floor surface. And scan your body, keeping that engagement for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, good, 2, 1. Now draw the hips up and back towards your down dog. Now this is a lot on the hamstring, so keep your knees a little bit bent. Find the lower core as you draw the tailbone up. Gaze back at your legs and just kind of shift side to side. Bend one knee, straighten the other. Sway your hip side to side. Push your entire hand into the floor as tolerated. This is a very active pose. Not like sometimes yogis say it's a resting pose. No, it's active. I want you thinking about activating your muscles. And when you're ready, look to the front between your hands and step to the front. Bend your knees, create a little shelf for your chest. Relax, grab opposite shoulder, opposite elbows, and sway. Back to that resting breath, finding a little stillness. Release your arms, scoop in your lower belly, rise to standing. Scoop, scoop, scoop your core to protect your back. Keeping those feet shoulder width apart. Keeping your knees soft, your core activated, your shoulders gliding away from your ears, broaden across your chest. We're going to think of shifting your hips back and bringing your hip points towards your thighs. So you're keeping that neutral spine. And then stand and tuck your hips under, tailbone towards the floor, squeeze the belly button in. Push your hip back, keep this stacking action, neutral spine, and stand. Place one hand on your lower belly, let's try this. One hand on your sacrum. Find that evenness in your pelvis. Find your core contraction, and you want to maintain this evenness as you push your hips back. And that's going to show you if you're tilting or letting go of the core. This is an easy exercise to do in standing. At the back, you're stretching out that sciatic nerve. And then come and squeeze. For 3, engage. 2, engage. 1, engage. Shake it out a little bit. If you're just trying to do something throughout the day, that's a good one to do. Let's lower onto the floor again. Come onto your hands and knees. Sit onto your feet. Let's start going side lying, just in case going straight back is too much right now. Lie onto your side and then make it all the way onto your back. We're gonna practice a bridge. Your glute strength also is a very important muscle to take tension off the low back. Your core and your glutes are your foundation. So set it up, pull the shoulders away from your ears. I want you to find that neutral spine. See a theme here. Walk your feet a little bit away from your body, maybe about 8 to 12 inches. And then from here, you're going to drive your hips to the sky, to your ceiling, keeping this the same distance. So start with your thumbs on your ribs, fingertips on your hips. Keep that distance as you squeeze your glutes at the top. Think of tucking your hips under so the tailbone shoots through the knees, and then lower back down. Lift the hips, keeping that distance. Tuck, engage with your mind. Think about squeezing your glutes. Lower back down. Yes, there you go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Release. It's not about speed. It's about doing them correctly. If you've got it, take your arms by your side, palms up. Continue. Make sure those knees go straight over the toes. If it helps, you can pull the toes up and just push through the heels. That helps elicit a little bit of that posterior line, getting the glutes activated. Exhale on effort. Exhale at the top. Inhale on the lower. If it's already shaking, that's a good thing. If you've done these thousands of times, Just take it back to the technique, to the present moment. Pretend like this is the first time you've ever done it. Release, let's take a break and just windshield wiper side to side. And we're gonna do it one more time. Again, if you need to stop now, stop now. Listen to your body. Set it up, find it, lift, engage, exhale, lower. Lift, engage, exhale, lower, yes. Now we just make it like a moving meditation, one breath at a time. A little bit of inner thigh squeeze can help too, if it's not too much to think about. Surrender. Once you set up your alignment, surrender to the movement. Let's go 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Windshield wiper those knees. Amazing. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Big hug of gratitude for taking the time to do this. I know it's not easy to always be motivated to do this kind of work, but it's so important. If you have time, take a Savasana. Definitely encourage it. Some of that stress release can also release inflammation in the body, flush it out by just calming the mind-body connection. When you're ready, roll to your side, log roll, and push your hand to find that seated, cross-legged position. Taking one more moment to tune in with your body, find a tall spine, draw the core in, relax the shoulders away from your ears. Notice how your body's feeling now. Knowing you did the work, being proud of yourself for showing up on the mat with your breath and your movement. This is a video that really can be done again and again and again. Thank you for letting me guide you. Comment below how this served you. Let's support each other. And subscribe. Again, thank you so much. Let me thank you by pulling my hands into heart center, bowing my chin to my chest. If you'd like to join me in one more breath, inhale through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Blinking those eyes open. Namaste, yogi.